doing today? And you guys can start with introducing yourselves.
Okay, well, my name is Adoria McIntyre. I am a self-taught freelance makeup artist here in Greensboro, North Carolina. I've been doing makeup for about a year now. So far, so good. I think that's good.
Okay, my name is Kira Evans. I'm a current student at UNCG. Currently, I am operating two businesses, the Lace Collection and Lace by K. Lace by K is luxury handmade wigs and also machine-made wigs. Then the Lace Collection is like virgin hair, raw hair accessories, and slowly expanding with that, so soon to be more.
Alright, so I still don't be believing you when you say you'll be the makeup for a year.
Oh, yeah, because she is beating faces.
She be beating faces like, it was just a gift.
Hands down the best. Like, I always go to my girl. She done beat my face about 6, 7
And then every time she do her face, y'all,
Look, we go viral.
Look, I was saying, it be real cute. So what made you get into doing makeup?
So I've always been into makeup, but like in high school, I used to just do my eyebrows. Like, that's about it. Eyebrows, eyeliner, and lashes. And then I guess after my freshman year, when I left from ECU, is when I really got into like the YouTube thing. Just recording myself doing my makeup and stuff like that. Like some days I would just do my makeup just because. So then when I started my business, I was doing my friend Rose's makeup, and my other friend Octavia was recording it, and she put it on Instagram, and people would hit me up like, I didn't know you did makeup. I'm like, I don't do makeup. And then they was like, well, can you do my makeup? I'm like, okay. I'm not gonna miss out on the We're gonna be learning together.
Right.
So that's pretty much it.
That's good. And how about you?
So I sort of got started more so through my friend. So of course, you know, when sew-ins was the trend, and then we went to closures, and then we went to wigs. So my friend, she knew how to make like the hand stitch wigs, and so she made me my first one, and I was hooked. And so I didn't want to sort of keep asking her to make my wigs, so I sort of taught myself. And then from there, like my other friends were asking, like, hey, can you make mine? And then word of mouth, and just decided to make the leap of faith and make it a business.
And her wigs too, look, we
Fire.
gonna slice everybody because her wig, look, hair, fire, all of that be fire. So y'all, this episode is gonna be a little different today. I just want us to have like a girl chat for like lady bosses who are watching this, like, cause I feel like we just be needing that conversation sometimes. You know, like all of that stuff. So y'all just gonna really feel it. It's gonna be like chicken noodle soup, like for the soul, you know, like I just feel it for real. So one of the first things I want to ask you guys is like, how do you guys go about setting goals for your business?
Okay, so I guess I sort of base my goals off of my audience and sort of the time periods of the year, because certain time periods for my business, you have peak seasons, and then it sort of relaxes a little bit. So I have to sort of set goals for my peak seasons to push myself to meet those goals, and then for those like relaxed seasons, I also set goals to also keep from falling off completely. So I always keep my goals in mind pertains to the season.
So mine hasn't got as far as Kira's. I just be like, whatever happens, happens. But I have seen those fall off seasons. So like over the summer, I barely had anybody's makeup to do. Because I mean, my audience, my clients are mostly college students. So when everybody left, it was nobody's makeup to do. Which, you know, I had the locals, but I wasn't really geared toward the locals. Which I'm starting to now, but then when I first started, no. So over the summer was like terrible. Like I had to go back working to my job full time. Horrible.
What we gotta do?
It was horrible. I know, but I was like, this ain't it. So my makeup really didn't start picking up until this October. So that's how I was able to quit my job. Because it picked up and I saved my money, and I'm like, okay, I can make something shake for the rest of the year, so I won't have to go back to work. But thank you.
Look, boss for real.
Thank you.
We gotta do what we gotta do. What I be doing for setting goals is I like write a lot in my journals, like when stuff comes to my head. So I'm always like writing stuff down all the time. And then something else I do this because I like visual stuff is I make like a little PowerPoint, and I always do this like toward the end of the year going into the next one. So I'll make like a little PowerPoint with my goals for next year, and then like what I need to do each quarter to reach them and stuff like that. So that's what I like to do. Like, you know, if you guys like visual stuff.
And you know what? Speaking about the writing down thing, I'm a post-it note person now. So I have post-it notes all on my wall, my mirrors, and by the door frame. So because my mind is constantly constantly running on new ideas, new things to do, like you said, goals and stuff. So I just write them down right then and there and just stick them somewhere so I don't forget.
Right, that's what last month, that was my first month using Post-it notes, and I wrote my goals down 3 times a day on Post-it notes. So right now my wall is just covered in Post-it notes with my goals that I wrote down every single day. But that really like helps you, like when you keep reiterating them every single day, like I feel like we be needing that. How do y'all feel about, how is it like, so for me when I had my hair business, it was always hard when having friends and having certain businesses that people like that. How do you guys like, what is the word, how am I trying to word it, like, let your friends know like this is business.
Let me get into
this.
I
like this topic. You know what I mean?
So, thankfully I really have great friends and families like close ones to me. But I also put labels on certain people that are my friends versus associates.
Right.
So my friends would never cross that line trying to get over me or always expecting sort of a handout or something like that. So because they know that's not me either. Like my policies are my policies. Please refer to them. I took time to make them and make them as fair as possible. So I respect that. And so I really don't have that issue. I guess sort of how I carry myself about the situation because they know I don't play.
Well, I was like, they're like, let me not play with you.
And like you said, you have to make that line between your friends and your associates, because some of your associates may think you friends.
Right.
Like really, I don't know you like that.
It's not like that.
Right. That's why everybody start hitting up, hey sis, huh?
Right. Sis.
Right.
It's casual terms, but we're not really sisters.
Right.
I love the support and all that, but like respect it.
Right. It was. I always felt like it was like little. Sometimes it's hard for me to say no because people already think I'm mean. So like when I say no, everybody always remember no. They will remember that no. They never remember every time you did something for them no. But it'll be little situations like one time my friend had me sit up there and dye a whole bunch of hair that she didn't buy for me, and then she over here asking me about waist treatments and other things. I'm like, so you sit up there? You want me to do this for free?
Right.
I'm like, okay, bet. And then that's when I have to start realizing, like, when people start moving like that, then you know how to move accordingly.
Exactly. And it don't take but one time.
Right.
Well, it shouldn't only take but one time.
Right.
Really
And
yourself.
that's what I had to learn is like, it shouldn't take more than one time for you to get through that.
And
sometimes it is unavoidable. So.
Right.
I haven't had that problem. Like my friends, they ready to pay full price. They like, okay, like, you know, that's your price, I'll pay it. And then sometimes, of course, my friend will be like, I'll pay for it. I'm like, no, you don't have to.
Right.
That's my friend, like
At
my
least
best friend.
At least they let you make that decision instead of coming in thinking like, oh, this is free.
Right.
Like, I feel like that's what people be doing. So what about, so for me, I don't want to talk about guys still like, so I feel like, well, look, you got I'm dead. So for me, when I be trying to deal with guys, like being a boss, like men, it's sometimes the guys who deal with it too, I can say that. But like guys would be like, well, I would be talking to guys like at school or whatever. They'd be like, you too focused on business, like you too pressed, like I'm like, cut. I'm so fast. I was like, huh?
What does that even mean?
How was that? I was like, I'm too focused on
That's such a turn off.
Right.
Immediately.
I be happy though when that happens so early because I'm like, oh good.
I'm glad you said that.
I'm glad you said
off.
that because I'm just like, I just feel like I want to be dealing with somebody that can put me on game too,
Right.
and like I can also educate and stuff like that. But I don't want to be sitting up there with somebody that don't have nothing going for themselves. Because I don't know, like you know how they be talking about ride or die, this, that, and they're like, I don't know, like if he not doing nothing, I'm going.
I don't believe in that
Yeah, I'm not. I don't be believing in that.
Right.
And my thing with guys, I'm so focused on like graduating and my business that guys. I mean, yeah, I still text whatever, whatever, but it's just like most of the time they get on my nerves because I'm like, dude, you're requiring too much energy.
You're
for what I'm
annoying.
trying to keep
Right now.
Very annoying, right? Or they just really not handling their business themselves. So it's like it's not attractive to me.
Right.
Like you said, I want a guy that's gonna put me on game, like teach me something, bring something to the table. I don't, especially me being a businesswoman, like teach me new business stuff. Like that's exactly what I be wanting, and like. When I find that, I'll be content.
Right.
That's why I'm content.
Look, tell us, because you got it up. Tell us how we need to have it, how we should get it.
Alright, so my boyfriend, he's very ambitious. Like, if he can't make money this way, he's gonna find another way to make it. And if it's not working that way, he's gonna try to move on to the next.
Exactly. There we go.
And it's so weird because, like, before me and Giles started talking, I was, like, talking to dudes that weren't even my type. Like, it was starting to get real messy. Like, I was like, this you are not for me.
Right.
And he just came out of nowhere, and like Jazz was the one that put me on to wholesaling because I didn't know nothing about it.
Right.
And then like he's still on the wholesaling thing, but he's mostly into trading now. But before that, I didn't know nothing about wholesaling. Now that's what I want to do. Like I need the coins.
Look,
and if I wouldn't have met him, I probably would have never knew anything about it.
That's good. Like somebody that could really push you on game because one of my guy friends told me like he done helped this girl get her credit score up, start her business. I'm like,
Yes.
That's what I want.
Right.
I need that. So what is like what's one thing you guys wish you knew before starting your business? Like something you ain't know this was gonna be like this. Like what was something that was a surprise to you once you started?
I would say actually liking it as much as I did when I first started. So back to how I got started. My friends were asking me and like they asked prices like how much you want me to pay you, and I'm like $40.
Right.
$40. I guess that. So it's like I don't even know that it's really sort of as in how do I want to say this? This is really a hard time to say that.
I feel like you like price and stuff was hard figuring out.
It was hard to put a price, put a price on my value, so to speak. So putting a price on my value led to, where I am now.
Learning how to do that. Yeah, that was hard for me to price. That was the hardest part, honestly.
Right.
Like when I was selling hair, that was the hardest part trying to sell hair because you gotta really your prices have to relate to who you want your audience to be.
Exactly.
And I had learned that people actually equate more expensive hair with like more expensive, better quality and stuff like that. Instead of me trying to like lowball myself and like, oh, let me sell it for lower, thinking I can sell more. But in reality, what I've seen to learn, just from like talking to other people that do e-commerce and stuff like that, they would say like price your stuff higher because the fewer customers, you'll get fewer customers, but you'll get more serious customers and more profit.
And they tend to be more loyal too.
Right. Yeah, that was something I needed to learn definitely. What about you?
I think the only thing that I wish I would have been prepared for, just being able to manage like my time with like my clients, and like not overbooking myself, and also just knowing my worth. Like when I first started off, I think I was charging like $30 for a face, $35, $25. And my friends were like, why are you charging that? Like your work is way better than
I have to say, your work look
great.
She feels.
And I was just thinking that like if I raised my prices, I wouldn't get any clientele because like I said, most of my clients are students. But clearly some of them got money, honey.
Look, people got money for what they want.
Exactly. They will fool you with that. And like you said, like raising your price, raise the the quality of what you brought in, like the type of people and stuff. Because especially with me, women and hair, women don't play by their hair. I know that because I don't play by mine. So when it comes to how they approach me sometimes, it's like, dial it down, like I'm still a human being, you know, like don't do that. So I guess that's really what helped me too, because weeded out those people who really want to put in the money for quality work and appreciate me.
Because when my prices were lower, like I would get some girls, it would be like their vibes were off. I'm sorry to use that. Everybody don't like that word no more, vibes.
Yeah,
but that's serious though.
It's
like
for real. Their energies be off.
Yeah, it's like girls would come in with attitudes, and I'm just like, okay, I really don't want you in my space. Like I'm doing their space fast so they can just get out. Like,
girl, you already did that, so I can imagine how fast she was doing it.
I was like, please get out. But yeah, that's the only thing. And also just dealing with people who don't know what professionalism is and always labeling people as unprofessional.
Right. Look, and I feel like people don't. I feel like customers do not realize like y'all have to have a professional conduct too. Like y'all can't just think it's us that are unprofessional. Like y'all have to speak professional to us, and they don't be understanding that. Like I remember this one time. Look, I got all the stories for days. This one time, this girl came in my DMs. Like she's sending me a whole bunch of different wigs she wanted me to do. I'm pricing them. I keep pricing them. She's doing this for like a week straight. Every day she's sending me something. Something different. Just keep doing it. So I'm like, I know this might be bad. I don't know. I blocked her because it was a week straight. She not saying. I keep telling her prices. She just not saying nothing. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna block her because I honestly feel like I don't want to do business with somebody like that.
And you don't have to.
Yeah, like I felt like she was just gonna be playing games. So she went and made a whole fake account with a whole Bart Simpson profile picture and started cursing me out. I'm like, damn, why she take it so personal? Like. It wasn't meant to be like that.
Like you weren't responding to me about anything that I'm sending to you, but you keep sending me stuff.
So,
like, are we gonna make any payments or like what's gonna happen?
And you know what? I weeded that problem out by making people email me. People who email me are serious. Because who will take the time to get off of Instagram, to get off and email you exactly what you want? Not many people besides the serious people that I really want. So when it comes to people sending DMs, they'll quote like my pictures all the time. How much is this? To say so in the description.
Like, what do you mean? Did you read it?
No, they don't read.
They don't at all.
People still DM me, and sometimes when I don't respond, they're like, question mark. I'm just like,
I don't want to be mean, but it's like, it's right there. Please don't DM me. I really say please. No DMs.
Right.
Not just please.
So what's some ways that y'all have weeded out like the bad customers, I guess? Like,
probably just raising your prices. Sticking to your former communications that you said you would. Like at first, when I first said like no DMs, I would still respond to people. But now I barely respond and just hope that they get the message. If not, they find somebody else.
Right.
But yeah, just sticking to your terms and policies. That's about it.
I wholeheartedly agree on that. Because once you stick to that, you get people who are going to respect you and respect your policies and even know your policies. Because I do encounter people that be like, oh, I didn't read it. I'm sorry, but that is what it is. You know, like, I mean, it's not my fault you didn't read it. I'm sorry you're in this circumstance right now, but
that's just my policy.
That's
right.
just
You gotta stick with it. That's what. Yeah, that's what I feel like. That's a big thing business owners have to realize when they first start their business is not letting people push over on you like that and having those policies. Because people will definitely be trying to file disputes and do all that stuff. But guess what?
Yeah.
Oh look, what you guys
I
say?
got my paperwork and everything. Like now that I do pickups and stuff, I was on the phone with PayPal because I had a dispute one time that I had to handle. She was like, yeah, and you know, like another tip, since you're doing pickups, you might have like written contracts that they have to sign saying, hey, I picked up my item today. So now when I do pickups and stuff, I'll go outside my clipboard and my pen. Hey, can you sign this? Just saying you pick up your items, your item number, you can read it real quick. It's literally like 2 sentences, sign date.
That's good. That's really good. What's y'all like, if y'all don't mind sharing, what's your like why for your business? Like what keeps y'all going for real?
I think for me, I just like making people feel good. You remember I told you that? Like I work in a nursing home. I like the old people, and I just like making people happy. And like when people get their face on, they're like, oh my god.
She already happy.
You be cheesing from ear to ear.
It's like my face is beady. I like that. Like that feeling gives me joy. And then also, I'm a creative, so having that creative outlet every day is always good for me. So I think that's it. That's why I like doing it. What I do.
Yeah, my why would be sort of the drive to not wanting to work for anybody else. Like after working jobs, like 9 to 5s, whatever, part-time jobs, and then owning my own business, that desire to work for somebody else or under somebody else is completely gone. I do not want to do that at all. So this has to work for me. Like that's my drive. This has to work for me. And then also, like you said, the creative side. Like I make wigs. I mean, it's not really super creative, but I do get to be more free when I get to do what I want. So.
Right. Yeah, I feel that. So I'm gonna say, so I had basically quit my business, but I'm gonna say like why I did. I had realized that why I thought I started it, it wasn't a good reason. Like I wasn't feeling it the same way I was, and I'm just bringing this up because I feel like sometimes we feel like, I don't encourage quitting or anything like that, but I feel like sometimes when your heart not in something no more, don't keep doing this.
It's okay to step down.
It's okay to step back from stuff. So that's why I had to step back. And a situation that happened to me. I had told you about the situation about the girl scamming me.
Ooh,
this girl scared me, and it's so bad that discouraged me so much. But I was already at a place where I was like,
wasn't feeling it.
Yeah, but basically this girl scammed me. She had bought a wig back in November, and I have remembered the order because I had like receipts and all of that stuff. So I'm getting back from spring break, and I'm seeing my business account got money taken out. So I'm like, I contact Square. They're like, oh, somebody filed a dispute. So I'm like, okay, let me go look back to the order. Found it was back in November. I'm sitting there like, it was so crazy because there was red flags when I was filling this order, but they weren't big enough for me to have noticed that they would come out. This happened, so this is March now. So November to March, she filed this in March. So I'm like, they weren't big enough for me to like realize that this was about to happen. But basically, like when she had made her account on my website, they made it under one name, and then the shipping address was to a different name. I didn't think nothing about that though, because that could be like your mom going on, make it work for you. So that was the first red flag, but it wasn't big, because again, it could be anybody on their site. So then another thing was, I used to always text all my customers right when I would start their order, just in case like anything changed. I would text them right before I start, like, hey, I'm starting to order all of this. I was texting throughout, like, hey, this is what it's looking like, sending pictures and stuff like that. And they will all reply, most of them. She never replied. So again, I'm thinking, oh, maybe this is the mom, and she, you know, she does not
don't know.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So the day I'm going to ship out the order, I have to call her because she didn't put the right apartment number.
Right.
So I'm scared, oh my God, this lady, nobody answered the phone, but luckily she did. So now all my fears is waived. I'm like, okay, somebody was there, like,
Right. It's some
cool.
communication.
Right.
Yeah.
So I send the order, whatever, and I always ask them too, like, how was it? She never replies. Don't think nothing about it, like I said. So back March roll around, I'm seeing a dispute for no knowledge of charge. I'm like, huh? So, but in my head, I'm like, oh, it's cool because I keep all the receipts. I got the UPS receipt, I got the text messages, I got all of that when I ordered the hair, everything. So I'm like, I should be straight when I send it into Square. They're like, okay, it'll take like 90 days. I sent everything in. They hit me back in 30 days. They're like, we ruled it in the customer's favor. You owe us $400. I'm like, oh, so now you're having me pay. So I just made a girl a wig for free, gave her some hair for free, and now I'm about to pay her basically to wear it because now I gotta pay the money back to her. So
And she knew what she was doing by not responding to the text.
right. Yeah, and I didn't realize this at the time. So look, y'all, if that ever happened to y'all, look, pay attention because it had discouraged me so bad. Like,
And you know what? I was looking at some girl's business on YouTube, and she was saying how like on her page, on her business page, she always has like no refunds, no matter what. Like that's her policy. And if you put that on there, PayPal has to favor you every time.
Really?
Because it says no refund on whatever you purchase. So
I was using Square at the time, and she filed the dispute as no knowledge of charge. So I guess she basically was saying that her card got hacked or whatever. And I'm like, who the hell ain't noticed $400 is missing out their account in November?
Girl,
But you noticed in March.
scamming.
She was stuck in Miami, probably couldn't get a flight back. And you know that, and they was gonna give you that money right back then. I was so mad, but
Yeah, people be out here scamming.
they definitely out here scamming, and that's why you gotta have them policies set like that. So what would y'all say like is the biggest struggle you feel like being a woman in business? You guys feel like you guys are having struggles?
Okay, so as far as like this real estate thing I'm trying to get going, I feel like men dominate that.
Yes,
and
they
it's
do.
super scary speaking to people. Like I spoke to some buyers before, and it's intimidating, especially when you're new in it and you're a woman and you're a black woman.
Right.
They don't take you serious at all. Like
And then when they find out we young.
they really dismiss you. Like, and I was talking to one seller, and she's like, "You sound really young. Like, how old are you?" I'm like 21. She's like, "I don't know if I want to do business with somebody that's inexperienced."
Right.
I'm just like, sweetie,
Right.
you don't even know.
Right. Look, you don't even know.
And then I guess as far as makeup, I don't really have any issues because I usually deal with like younger crowds. I haven't had to adapt to like older crowds as far as like my weddings.
Right.
They don't wear makeup how we wear makeup.
Right.
But that's about it as far as makeup. But the real estate thing is very intimidating.
I bet.
I guess I'm in the hair industry, so it's not that many guys really in it, but the ones that are in it are really like climbing fast.
Right.
Like Arian Tate, Alonzo Arnold,
It's
some local people in
I can't
Raleigh,
think of any person.
Charlotte,
Cardi B.
Cardi B.
Who's Cardi B?
Is
Is
it
it Tokyo?
Tokyo?
Tokyo Baby is a-
Man, yeah.
No, that's the girl.
That's a girl by
Tokyo Styles.
Tokyo Styles. I know it's Tokyo something. Yeah. So that's,
He was doing college there too.
Really?
He used to make wigs for her.
Wow. They do be in there like rising up.
Yeah, because
fast.
Tate, he's slaying all these wigs.
Yes. And they be ODing too. Like I'm like, where y'all get these hands from? Because
That's what I wonder. Like, I wonder where it comes from. Like, yes, their work is quality, but then it also has to do with like their personality and just who they are. Period. Because I don't know, for some reason, women like gay dudes. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but like they get more attention. I
You
don't
know
know.
what? And I think it's because of the industry. So if you think about it, as in like the real estate that y'all was talking about, once y'all as women get on top of the real estate, like scenery, y'all gonna be at the top because y'all are the top, and people, other women are gonna look up to you because y'all made it out of those you know, in a male dominant industry. And I think that's the reverse for the hair industry because it's men versus a whole bunch of women. So I think that's how it's gonna work.
I definitely feel that perspective. So, how do you guys like juggle everything with school? Because I know do you install wigs for people? Woo.
Nope, I'm
But
thinking
still-
about it, but I don't know.
But still, even just making them, finding the time to make them. How do you guys, and especially with you having to book appointments, how do y'all find the time with everything?
Well, me, I'm about to graduate, so like school is really top priority. Like my business is under adapt just for the moment because I'm so close to my degree. I don't need any hiccups or anything. So school is top priority over my business.
Right.
But I still make sure I handle anything related to my business. If I know I need to take a break, I let my customers know in advance too.
Right.
So balance it, I always try to look at it from my customer's perspective, and I also try to make sure I handle what I need to personally.
Right.
And my personal times sort of before the business.
Right, that's good.
So for me, I've always been like an all over the place type of person. So now I'm trying to like have a routine, especially since business is picking up. I'm trying to have a routine to where like, you know, I wake up, I handle this thing for real estate, and then I handle this thing for makeup. So I try to write out my days the day before, or like think about it the day before. So when I do wake up, it's just getting straight to that. I haven't had any problems staying organized though. I use a booking website, so I don't have to write down anything. It's just all there, and then I add those appointments to my iPhone calendar, and it just reminds me like today you have such and such appointment. So that's about it.
It'd be hard knowing everything. That's what I have to do like the night before, write down my whole day. I literally write it by hour too. Like you need to do this at this time, this at this time, because otherwise I'm
And you know what? I struggle with that. Like I bought a planner on several occasions.
Right.
Every year I buy a planner.
I swear.
I write it down, and I still sort of don't follow the planner exactly how I had planned. So I really feel like the planner doesn't work for me. Maybe I'm not using it to its fullest ability, but literally free balling my day, so to speak, works for me. It may not work for everybody, but just free balling. No, I need to get this, and done today. It need to be done by 11:59 at night, and that's always fun.
That's good though still, because again you just got to find what works for you. Because although I do that, it's just so I can have an idea of what I need to be doing every hour. In reality, something may fall off, and I'm like, shoot, okay, but now I can look back, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. The stuff definitely gonna be falling off. So what are like some good habits that you guys feel like a business owner should have? Maybe like, so I'll give an example so you guys kind of understand what I'm saying. Like, so for me, like I like to wake up early, like really early. I like to wake up really early to really just get myself together, to meditate. I'll read and I'll work out. I just started like working out now too, and that really makes me feel good in the morning too. So what's some stuff you guys think, or what's some stuff that you guys do that you feel like is a good habit?
I think now the habit I've picked up from my boyfriend is waking up early. So like I used to be a late sleeper, but now, girl, Giles used to be up at like 6 o'clock going to the gym. I'm like, why is he up at that? But now I understand, like you really get your full day, and it just helps you prepare like for the week, for the day. So when I do wake up, if I'm not with him, I don't really go work out. I'm trying to get into working out, but I just feel like, okay, I don't know what to do. Anyways, I wake up early and I listen to a podcast, and I was like, today's gonna be a good day. I'll just think about the day, like what's gonna happen, and that just puts me in a mood to like, you know, go through my day pretty chill.
So me waking up early. A lot of my class I have a lot of 8 a.m. So I'm up early anyway, so it doesn't really bother me, but like waking up early is definitely a great habit because you have the entire day. Even if you wake up at like 11 or 12, think about it, by the time you get ready for the day, it's about 1 o'clock, and most of your day is gone, like at least the business day. And that's how I'm thinking about like the business day. I only got 4 hours left in the business day, so all my time is gone. So like waking up is a good habit. Also, I guess sort of allowing time to give yourself a breather throughout the day too, because sometimes things do get very hectic and overwhelming. And I find myself like 6, 7 o'clock not eating like anything since breakfast. I'm like, hungry. I got all my work done, but now I'm hungry. I need to put time in for yourself.
We had a malfunction. I had an alarm. I don't know why. But what's my ask y'all? So what's some other industries y'all want to get into?
So for me, I definitely want to get into real estate. That is where the money is. That's gonna set you up for life. Like I'm so glad my boyfriend introduced me to it, because I've always known about real estate, but it's like you think it's hard to get into, and you don't really know all the avenues there are to get into it. So I'm definitely gonna start saving up to be able to purchase properties. Like in my 5-year plan, I want to have at least 2 properties under my belt. And then I also wanted to try to start selling like beauty items, like, you know, makeup palettes, stuff like that.
Come on, posh.
Yes, I'm trying to make it a brand. I'm trying to. So yes, I definitely do want to get into makeup product production. So
I definitely should do that.
Something I'm looking into is like further expanding the beauty. Like recently, I've just added like hair accessories and done the fur headband. So I think I may go more into beauty and also maybe more fashion as well.
Right.
I can see that on you.
Yeah, but say you be dressing. Yeah.
So I'm not fully like engulfed in the fashion just yet. More so the beauty right now.
Cause I could definitely see a boutique.
Yeah,
I need it because you be dressing.
Yeah, because you dressing real cute. Because I'm loving this jacket right now.
Thank you very much.
Look, hello, look, come on now. Sponsor. For me, I want to definitely get into real estate. That's what I've been like looking at for the past year. And I just feel like people don't realize like owning stuff is important as a Black person, period. Like we have to have ownership. And I was just listening to a podcast this morning, Millionaire Mindset, and you like that podcast? Yeah, I love them. Yeah, I say I love them. Yeah, they be real good. And they just was talking about today, one of the girls, she was just talking about like, you really don't have no say if you don't have no ownership for real. Like everybody is always, or how do y'all feel about this? So how do y'all feel about like people always saying all these rich people, one needs to be like taxed and I'm still understanding that, but I still don't agree with what they're saying. And how do you guys feel about like them always saying, oh, they need to donate their money here? Like everybody's always complaining, I feel like.
Yeah, and I was just about to respond to this girl on Twitter, but I was like, I'm not controversial, so I'm not gonna do it. But I'm just like, as far as people we follow, like real estate Twitter, investor Twitter, rich people Twitter, these people are not obligated to do any of that, just like we aren't. When they ask me if I want to donate $5, I say no, because I don't have to, and I don't want to, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it. That money that those people have is money that they acquired, and they're not responsible for nobody but themselves, their families, and their kids. Like, it's like it kind of makes you want to be upset, but you can't be because I mean,
Actually, it's a cold world we live in too.
Yes.
So like, I mean, I agree completely with that.
you're either gonna work for what you want, or you just gonna see everybody else getting what they want.
Right. I just hate that people sit there and complain about it. I'm like, in the same breath that y'all talking about they did X, Y, and Z, like you could have went and did it, and you could have did the change that you've been claiming you want to see. Because like you saying, shoot, I ain't gonna lie, I don't be donating the little dollar when they ask me to.
Right.
So
Not every time.
look, so how I'm looking up on Twitter like, oh, Beyonce need to make sure she donate X, Y, and Z. Like,
Right.
she works for that.
Exactly.
Like, people do not be understanding that. And then that's another thing too I want to get into is how do y'all not encourage others, but like I feel like sometimes it's just you can keep telling people over and over and they just may not get it themselves, but basically people just feel like they're not able to do the things you're doing. I feel like how do you want to encourage other people? You know what I mean? Like,
So based off my tweet today, I said something along the lines of you're not where you want to be because you're not consistent. I'm not where I want to be because I haven't been as consistent as I should be. Like, I put that blame on myself. And you have to put that blame on yourself. When you keep blaming others and putting out excuses, you'll never get to where you want to go.
Right.
And that's really it. Like, if you're not putting the work, you're not going to get no results from it.
Okay, so I tell Adoria this all the time. You get out what you put into it. So I mean, and also the way I do business may not work for the next person. So when I do, people ask me for advice all the time, or hey, I'm having trouble with getting customers. I'm like, you can do this, and this, but you know this is what works for me. Like I can't go stamp this and say this is gonna work.
Right. That's true. So. I feel like people don't understand that. I feel like it's not like, well, with our type of businesses where y'all, there's not like a universal plan. Exactly. This is going to work like if you do this.
Exactly. And that's why, like, you see all the makeup gurus out here, and it's like, you know, that's cool and all, but going to buy if you're going to buy some of their courses or buy anything that they're offering that's supposed to help you learn, make sure you're really and you're really using that information and not just buying it and look over it one time and be like, oh, that's it, because you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. So,
and applying what you learn too, because I feel like what I had did at one point is overflowed myself with so much knowledge and then didn't put it into action.
Right.
So it's like I can't sit up here and complain and be like, oh, this don't work when I didn't apply it.
Exactly.
And I also feel like it has to do with your mindset, like your capacity of being able to take on that much at one time. Because I can give you all the tips and the knowledge, like how you say you got all this knowledge, but you never put it into work. So it's really your motivation and your mindset to put that energy into that information that you now have.
Right.
I feel that. And then something else I personally like to do, I don't know like what you guys do to really make yourself feel good, but like my affirmations affirmations and stuff. So like every day I write in my journal, I write notes to myself like in the future. So like I'll start with like, dear queen, this is like what's like a year, this is, so I'll write as if I'm in the future already. So I'll write like, it's so crazy that last year you said this was gonna happen and look like you're here now. And I just like really try to make myself feel it in the moment. Like what's something you guys do to make yourself like really feel good?
Every morning I tell myself that money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. And I've always been huge on manifestation, but like these last 4 or 5 months has really been showing me like your words are powerful. Like over the summer when I wasn't getting any business, I'm like, please, like I don't want to work at this job no more. I just want to make it full time and here I am.
Oh no, well, we on this camera. Oh, is it gonna keep making noise though? Oh, stop. We on this camera.
What's the thing ass on the screen?
My bad. What's something you guys do to like make yourself feel good?
Okay, cool. So back to the sticky notes. I like the sticky notes. So on the sticky notes, I'll write little cool things like on the mirror, I'll put smile. Like remember smile even on those bad days. Or say if I want something by December, okay, I put that goal down and I write it down every day, move it around in new positions on the post-it. And also sometimes I just go like window shopping on my phone. So say if I want a new car, I go look at the same car every day, go check the price. Like I swear that makes me feel good too though. Cause I want like one thing me and my best friend used to do is we would drive around to like homes and stuff like that and be like, oh, we would be saying we want to own this, we want to own this, but even just looking at them like, oh, I can live in something like this, like I'm capable of doing this. You know that reminds me of, you know how you were little and you was on the bus to field trips and you see the cool cars, but this would be my car, right? This would be my house.
Yes, and they be feeling so good though when you say it and you really believe it, because I think that's where people go wrong is they don't be believing what they say. And I be so, like, my goals are so scary to me sometimes. I'm just like, damn, like, this shit about to happen for real. Like, this is, like, I really believe in everything I be saying is going to happen for me. And that should just be, I love it because it's like, oh, you got a lot to live up. It's scary because you got a lot to live up to, but I love it because I love that I think of myself that highly. So.
And I think that Xavier, like, he always touches on that on the Millionaire Mindset podcast. Like getting over that fear of being wealth or like acquiring wealth, because I always get scared thinking about like, you know, what if I do start making this much money, like what am I going to do with it, like what's going to happen, am I going to be able to handle it, or am I going to go broke again? Like those are all things that are always in my head, like am I going to go broke again? That's look.
That is sort of the scary thing, and when you're having such large goals and you want to manifest these things, you always I always think about the negative, like, okay, well, say if I have a small goal of reaching maybe like 50 orders, you know, every 2 weeks or something like that. Yeah, I want these 50 orders, but also that's a lot of work for me to do. So it's like it's pros and cons to these things that I want to manifest, but I have to be able to accept them too. So when you manifest them, be able to accept
what's going
to
come with it. Yeah, I always say that, like, I feel like you have to be prepared for the blessings that you're asking for. Because I feel like I had a pastor, I said that one time in church, he was like, God want to give it to you, but he's sending you around and around and around until you really prepared for it. Because he ain't about to give it to you if you ain't going to know how to handle it.
And I think that's what happened with me, because over the summer, I feel like if I would have been getting all that money, all the money that I was able to make these last couple of months, if I would have been making that earlier this year, I probably would have just spent it. And then I would have been SOL because I didn't quit my job. But now that I've like started listening to podcasts, you know, trying to get more financially educated, you know, I think about things before I buy it. Like that camera, I've been thinking about it for a year now, so I was like, I'm just gonna go buy it.
And it's still a good investment.
Right. So I was just like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. But saving up my money now is huge for me.
Facts.
Your savings gotta look bigger than your checks.
Hello. Yes, that's where we're going. But thank y'all so much for sitting here and talking with me for all this time through all my phone alarms and all this stuff. I hope you guys love this episode. I don't even know if y'all can see me for real because I have to turn. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys continue to watch Tea Time with Key.